Hello, this is Dan from Encore Motor Cars down in Sarasota, Florida. We'll take a walk around this 2005 Lexus ES330 sedan. This car was just traded in by a retired couple down here, and they got something newer. And they kept really good care of this car. It's a one-owner car, and it's been serviced right here in Sarasota, Florida, at the local Lexus dealership since day one. And it's got a Carfax that shows it was just gone through again right before they traded it about 4 or 5 months later. They just did all the brakes and had all the stuff done at the Lexus dealership that they thought they needed to get done. They were kind of picky about what they were looking for, so they didn't think that they were going to be able to find one that easily. And we just happened to be the lucky ones to have the car that they wanted, that they had been looking for. But they had recently made preparations to keep this car and drive it for a while more. And then they ended up just a little while after they did all that service work, they found the car that we had and decided to buy it. So we got lucky and we got the car right at the right time, right after they serviced it. Then we put it through our shop, and we did find that there was a couple of small items that we needed to do on it, but it's all ready to go. There are very superficial common issues that are on this model. The valve cover gaskets on these can leak. And it's not a severe leak, but just about all of them that you see driving around today, usually it's very common. Half of them at least probably have the same issue that we corrected on this car, which is a slow leak on the valve cover gasket that runs down the motor and burns off and kind of has a smell to it, and usually doesn't hit the ground, but it uses oil a little too fast because it's leaking a little bit. And it's really not dangerous, but it is the right thing to do to change that out. At our shop, we go right through the cars and make sure that they're all that stuff is done. We don't deliver cars that have those kind of issues. So anyway, but the rest of the car really turned out great, and technicians were very impressed with the way the car was on the lift when they put it up. So new set of tires on here. We got some Firestone Champion all the way around, matching set of tires. Paint on the car is the original paint, and is it gorgeous. I did mention to a couple people on the phone, one guy in particular who I'm doing this video for, that there is a spot that was touched up, and it's hard to see it right here. Somebody's brush touched that. It's very difficult to see on the leading edge of the car. Not uncommon for that to occur. Probably a stone chip from the highway just coming up and giving it a nick on the paint, and they touched it up right there. But it looks fantastic. Otherwise, I couldn't find a ding, dent, or scratch anywhere on this whole exterior of the car, and it sure does look nice all the way around. The wheels are even in really good condition. No gouges or scrapes on any of the wheels. Mirrors don't have any marks on them like commonly are seen. Again, the wheels all the way around are in great condition. Rear bumper has no scratches or scuffs anywhere on it. And we'll get into the interior in a minute. You're really going to be impressed with the interior on the car. But quickly, just taking a close look around the lower sections of the car. I'll also give you a roof shot if you want to see that. It's got a sunroof up there, but again, the wheels, tires, lower rocker panels, all the sections. You know, it's got this guard here that would guard against door dings and things like that, which is a very nice feature. But even that guard doesn't have any marks or scratches on it. Again, the mirror on this side also doesn't have any problems. This stuff here, this shiny black area on a lot of these cars gets kind of worn if the car's been out in the sun, especially down here in the south. The heat, the black absorbs the heat or attracts the heat and the sun, the light, and these get blown out, and they just they're not shiny on a lot of these cars. They get dull. This car is in great condition. Also, the sunroof and the rubber gasket that goes around the sunroof isn't dry or curling or any of that common problems that can occur on these. And around the windshield gasket here, windshield is the original Lexus windshield. No, and not even a star or a chip or anything on the windshield. So it's just had a fantastic life in the garage, and with 74,000 miles on an 05 for a Lexus, that's very low miles. You can see all the bright work up here, including the headlights, the grille area, shiny, the lower fog lights with the chrome strip that goes around the chrome lights, all excellent, and the lower air dams in fantastic shape. Doesn't look like it's ever come up against the curb. So exterior, I give it if not an A+, at least an A. all the way around. And the interior, I give this interior for a 2005 an A+. It is just fantastic. The bolster in the seat has no wear on it. The landing area has very little wear, just a little evidence of use. The center console cushion where you keep your elbow doesn't have an elbow mark on there from somebody sweating on it, like can happen. The headliner's not dirty, it's really nice and clean, and all the lights are working. Like I said, the dashboard's working, and I mean the dashboard's in great condition, excuse me, and the armrest on here is in nice condition as well. All the buttons, great condition, and see the passenger seat controls there are real nice. The lower base area is nice and clean. Carpets are like new. We shampoo them and get them ready, then we seal them after they dry so they can keep nice and clean. We've got the mats in the trunk. Let's take a look at the trunk and take a look under the hood real quick. There's your mats, and look at that driver's mat. It's in nice condition. And then let's get under here. We've got the cargo area here, and the spare tire, and all the tools back down in here. Screwdriver and all the stuff that you need to tow the car, change the tire. The front plate brackets here, in case you need to put a front plate on it. The first aid kit's back in here, and it's got a pass through. The seats fold down, and then it has a pass through as well. And here's the way this car came in. It's got some dust on it from just you know, being down driving around, but this is the exact way this car came in trade. It's just really surprisingly clean for a 2005. And in Florida, we get to enjoy all the rust-free. You know, we take a car in that's from the north. All these bolts that are the natural bolts and hardware brackets, they get rusted up, and they start to show signs of being up north, starting to the early stages of the rusting at this point. This car has none of that going on. Really nice and clean. New Lexus battery in 516 that was put in, so that was last year. And you can see all the decals, everything up where it's supposed to be on the hood. The VIN number that's up here on that panel to show that that's the original hood on the car. And that should just about wrap it up. My name's Dan. I'm from, like I said, Encore Motor Cars in Sarasota, Florida. My phone number is 941-915-7637. Please give me a call. And if you have some questions about this car, if you want to just try to make a deal on it, the best way to do it is to call. I do financing, trade-ins, shipping, all sorts of different services for anybody. If anything you're probably thinking of, I've heard it before, so I can try to help out with that. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.